My name is Asa William Alexander Cromwell. My family comes from Weymouth Falls, Nova Scotia. I was born in Scarborough, Ontario, but had moved back to Nova Scotia when I was just a few weeks old. From the time I was an infant till about 5 years old, we lived in my hometown and then moved to Elmer, Quebec, where I would stay till about 9 years old, and then we moved over to Ottawa. I lived there till I was about 17, prior to moving back to Nova Scotia again to live with my grandmother. But this time I would go alone. And I stayed in Nova Scotia for 4 years. And then I would move back to Ottawa back in 2004. I did a lot of moving around in my life back then. But growing up as a child, in Ottawa is where I lived the majority of my life. I had no knowledge of my identity at all. I only knew myself as black and was told by my education that I was just that. All of us in my family would identify ourselves as black, but would learn to know we had Aboriginal and Indigenous roots. I grew up in a multicultural city though. My area was mainly Arab, Caribbean, Somali, and other various people of East and West African descent. It was a decent experience growing up with those I did, who I'm still in touch with till this day. But I did so with no solid way of life or religion. I was just a free spiritual person, but at the same time was ignorant of my true self-identity. The school system lied to me while pursuing an education, separating the so-called black and native peoples, and never telling me how we, known as the so-called blacks, were also indigenous as well. All of us in the human race did originate from the motherland. What they didn't tell us is that over here in the West, we were here from time before they came and slavery would take place, the transatlantic slave trade. So here I was growing up not knowing my true identity until later on in life, seeing myself as a black man with no true nationality and under the system as a number with a family slave name. Being told you were a slave your whole life puts you in a different state of mind, how you think about yourself. Having your whole culture, history, and way of life taken from you keeps you in a position of stagnation. All I came to know was my father's side of the family had apparently came from North Carolina through the Underground Railroad and had indigenous native roots of Mohawk and Micmac. My mother's side was Caribbean, Micmac native, and ancestry was from West Africa and Ghana. That's all I knew, but was still ignorant of the true history from the lies the history books told me, keeping the truth of our indigenous roots off the table and passing us off as slaves, labeling us black, which I would come to learn is merely just a legal title, being somebody's property. All my life I had someone or something trying to take something from me, whether it be my happiness, identity, my money, or sense of self-pride and dignity. But I never thought I would make it thus far and hold what I do today. I never thought I would survive what I have and it came through. I never thought I would meet as many beautiful spirited people as I did, and never thought I would be here today to tell it to you. Indigenous is what I am and who I'll always be. The complexion of my skin and features of my face do not determine that whatsoever, nor does the texture of my hair. All around the globe there's many of us, and I was surprised when I would meet many who looked just like me that were, but who spoke a different language. We were just the ones from the north under British rule, but it happened in the south of the Americas, under the Spanish and Portuguese as well. We all came from the motherland, but when the Moors took their show on the road worldwide and would settle all over the globe, the place we call America would be one of the places we would become indigenous to. Nova Scotia, Canada was where we've been from time, despite what anyone tells you differently. My name is Asa Cromwell, also known as Ace Man Indigenous, Nova Scotia, Canada's finest, and this is just a small portion as the prelude on the journey of my third world redemption.
Life for a long time.
Thank you.
Getting this money, trying to stay, trying to stay about the light, about the spotlight, the club, and all that kind of stuff, man. Trying to hide, trying to, but it's all fake. Understand what I'm saying? This life, this game, there ain't no love in it, it don't love you back.
I ride through the city, my ops wanna kill me, I'm alone right now. All of my friends on the run, they locked up or gone. I'm posted outside in this world, feels so cold right now. Went back to the block and all I seen is ghosts. My mama can't read her son, I'm so numb right now. I don't got money around.